What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to this tutorial. And today we're going to talk about Chizuru, one of the most beloved characters in the KOF franchise, especially due to the fact that she is one of the sacred treasure characters. And I got to say, guys, that I feel like Netmarble done an amazing job with this character because they made her a versatile character. She is not only a very strong character on her own, but because of the support buffs that they gave this character, she is going to last the test of time. And that is something that we always love to see because, you know, the characters that are always super strong, yeah, they're amazing and they'll definitely be good for a long time. But these support characters, you can just keep using them, and you're going to find that this character is actually going to make previous characters that we got in the past a whole lot stronger. As I'll show you guys in a little bit, I was honestly shocked by the difference. So Chizuru's leadership is just nuts for red fighters because it's 6% increased attack, but also because it buffs up 3 sacred treasures by another 40%. That is a 100% attack for herself, for Akio, and for Iori. You know, that's a lot, guys. That is crazy. Anyways, she has the strike skill increase, 15% PG rate. She has increased attack of all teammates except for self by 100% for 20 seconds upon landing an active skill on a Starlight enemy. So whenever you do her first skill that applies Starlight, boom, 100% attack for 20 seconds for everybody on the team. That is amazing. Then she increases her own attack by 500% for 12 seconds upon using a blast skill, and she decreases all active skill cooldowns by 2 seconds upon landing each active skill. Every time you use the skill, guys, this is on an 8-second cooldown, but every time you use your skill, you're going to notice that their active skill cooldowns are going to drop 2 seconds, which is awesome. It really helps her keep her hyper armor up, which is pretty lit. Also, she's immune to stun, fear, burn, darkness, and starlight. And she gains damage immunity for 5 seconds when HP is 30% or below and on a 9-second cooldown, which is awesome, guys. She also has a critical shield that absorbs damage for 7 seconds when HP is 50% or below. The shield can be removed when attacked by 4 critical hits. So not only does she have the immunity, but she also has the shields for some really great survivability. And when it comes to Chizuru, guys, I mean, she's got this crazy starlight damage, but she also increases strike skill damage from all team members by 40%, which is amazing, guys. Like, characters with EX cores, like, they'll get this kind of buff by 50%. So she literally has it on a skill, which means she only needs to be level 90 to get this. And by the way, her core works the same way. Level 90, she gets that 100% increase of attack by landing an attack on a starlight enemy and the increased strike skill damage by 40% for all team members. And then her second skill increases blast skill of all team members, including self, by 60%. And again, this is when she's at level 90. And this is even better than what characters have for their EX core, which is increased blast skills by 50%. This is 60% built into her skills. What? Like, this is nuts. Like, we usually have to spend a ridiculous amount of rubies trying to get a character to A5 to unlock that EX core to get the increased blast skills by 50%. This girl, you get her one time, boom, you got it. You got 60%. And she decreases defenses by 80% on top of that. And she increases damage received by 100%. All these buffs stack on top of each other. This is just ridiculous how many buffs she has, but she also deals starlight damage equal to 1,000% of attack every 1 second, which is also really, really great, right? And you get to the third skill, and her third skill is pretty interesting because whenever you hit this skill and you just hold it down, you don't have to tap it. It'll actually change forms as you're playing through it, right? It's pretty cool. So whenever you just tap the skill the first time, you'll get the hyper armor, you'll get the increased own active skill damage by 125% up to 250%, which is just crazy. And then whenever you hold it, you'll get this deal physical damage equal to 5,000% of attack upon landing an attack on a starlight enemy, and then resets the cooldown of the skill, which is awesome. You literally just hold the thing down, guys, and she'll just keep boop, 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 just changing forms as she's going through the skill, which is pretty awesome. And it's an interrupt skill, which is sweet. And her 3PG just resets her skill. So you don't really have to worry about doing her 3PG as far as damage. Now, I am going to be running this set, or I'm sorry, I'm going to be running the banner set on her. We're actually going to be using this setup right here on her, this exact same set, only with her 3PG. And speaking of which, her 3PG does increase critical damage by 15%, which is phenomenal. Now, in the run, I'm going to show you guys, I'm not going to be using the 3PG because it really throws off the rotation quite a bit if I do decide to do that. but you're still going to see some ridiculous damage when she's put on a team with certain individuals, especially if they have blast skills. It's actually astronomical what she can do. This is what I'm going to use in the team run that you guys are going to see, but we're going to run the banner set in the solo run that she will do. And whenever you take this character to A5, right, whenever you get her leveled up to A5, then, you know, some other things going to be unlocking for you, right? So she has some nice little things where, you know, you can either increase own blast active skill damage by 100%, decrease own active skills by 90%, which is really massive for this character. She's all about the blast skills. And she resets that cooldowns and increase blast skill damage of all teamers by 50%. So it's really wild that her EX core, you can give the increased blast skill by 50%, whereas in her kit, she has increased blast skill by 60%. And by the way, guys, because 160%, 150%, at least this is how I think it's working out from previous things that I've noticed in the game, is that those are going to stack on top of each other. So you can literally, if you have her at A5 and you're using it as a support, you're literally going to get 110% increase to your blast skills on top of the increase by 100% of attack from her core, on top of the 40% increase in strike skills, on top of the increased target damage received by 100%, on top of the decreased defenses by 80%. I mean, it's just a mouthful going over all of these buffs that this girl offers, but it doesn't mean that she isn't strong. It doesn't mean that, you know, she can't do some really good damage. She's actually quite strong. And I want to give a big shout out to Snow, because Snow actually did a run with an A5 Chizuru and got 347 billion doing a solo. 347 billion against Nightmare Geese doing a solo. That is a F ton of damage, guys. That is astronomical. So she is definitely strong. Now, when it comes to doing a solo on my account, well, it's not going to be the same can of worms because, well, she's level 90. She's not A5. But even at level 90, guys, she's a pretty broken character. So I start out with a third skill to get my hyper armor. And you see how the third skill kind of just resets over and over and over, changes form as you're going through it. And another thing about Chizuru that's really great is the fact that she does a lot of hits, and she has a lot of range on her skills, which is really, really great for PvE and PvP, right? And you can see how the cooldown of the active skills drops immediately the first rotation, because we are on an 8-second cooldown on the decreased active skill cooldowns by 2 seconds from her core. And her 3PG is just absolutely awesome. Like, this thing is sick. I love how she goes into her stance, and then she just deals a crap ton of damage on top of good old Geese. And also, guys, her survivability is pretty freaking nuts. Like, it's really, really good in this game mode. Like, she just murders. And also because she decreases the active skill cooldowns on her skills by 2 seconds, at least in the first rotation, you're going to have your hyper armor up longer, guys, which is awesome. That adds to survivability on top of the immunity core, on top of the shield. But she is a tanky girl, right? I'm using Yori because Yori does give some nice little link effect buffs as far as, you know, adding as a striker. But she's already done, you know, 10 billion, my friends. She's already done 10 billion, right? I mean, it's not Lady Gennett's damage, but it is ridiculous, right? And really, I don't know, like as far as like what the difference would be between A5 Lady Gennett's and Lady Chizuru, or Lady Chizuru and Chizuru. I really should call her Lady Chizuru. But anyways, I don't really know how much of a difference there would be in their damage as far as A5, in all honesty. But I mean, at level 90, there's definitely a stark difference between damage between Lady Gennett's and Chizuru, but it doesn't mean that Chizuru isn't powerful, guys. She is damn strong. Like, anybody that would get this character right off the get-go, they're going to have the better of both worlds, because not only are they going to have a really solid damage-dealing character, but they're also going to have a very, very strong character on top of that, right? So I'll pause it for you guys. You can take a look at the damage that she has done, okay? And check this out. So almost 15 billion, which means I could do about 30 billion, maybe a little bit more in one run with a level 90 character. That is a lot. That is a tremendous amount. Yeah, it's not 110 billion like Lady Gennett's in a full run, but it's still really, really good. It's still a lot of damage. But let me show you where she really is going to come into play and where people are probably going to use her more than likely. Okay, let's move on here. Check this out. Now, this is where it gets really wild, my friends. This is where it gets really wild. So we're doing a team run with Iori, Pai Chen, for obvious reasons, 300% increased attack, increased target damage by 100%, right? And then obviously having Chill and Shock, and we're going to be using Chizuru for the leadership. So this is something that's really amazing about Chizuru. Because she buffs up Sacred Treasure characters, Iori and Kyo get buffed up. So if your favorite characters are Iori and Kyo, right, rather than Chizuru, maybe you like her, but you just prefer those other characters, well, guess what? You now have a character, even at level 90, that can add some ridiculous damage. Look at how much damage Iori does in one rotation. 500 billion in one rotation. Now, to put things in perspective, guys, I did a video a while back, about 3 months ago, and I was actually using Iori, Shanae, and Cronin on the team. Now, Cronin gives the increased target damage received by 90% in total, right? And Shanae also gives some increased target damage received, or chill damage received, by 55%. So they're not as good at buffs. But because of Pai Chen and because of Chizuru, look at the damage now. The same card set, guys. I'm running the Athena set, a Transcended Athena set. I'll show you guys the build on my Iori here in a little bit. But the same card set that I ran 3 months ago, and I hit 1 trillion in one run. 1 trillion, and look what they've already done already. Look what my man Iori has done with the help of these two ladies already. Look at the damage. Already over 1 trillion in 30 seconds. What? What? This is astronomical. The amount of damage improvement that we're getting. And the beautiful thing about this is I'm using a level 90 Chizuru, guys. I'm using a, I think level 90 A1 Pai Chen. And we're getting all these insane buffs to buff up a character that I already have at A7. And I know a lot of you other players out there, you might have Iori leveled up. You might have Kyo leveled up, and you just replace Kyo with Iori and do the same thing and get all this ridiculous buffs. Look at 2.4 trillion. I know guild raid's a joke these days, but still, you just can see the level of damage increase because, say for example, we get another Alexandrite event, or maybe in the event currently that we're going to have going on whenever it unlocks, which is the AG's challenge, where if you could use these buffing characters, guys, like Pai and Chizuru are in that AG's challenge. If you can use these buffs simultaneously with a character like Iori, who's also in that AG's challenge, you're going to get an increase in damage that's beyond belief. 3 trillion. 3 trillion, my friends. We're not even done with this run. Just think of how much damage like Iori or Kyo could do with having just level 90 buffing characters in game modes, like to help you get better rewards. This is lit like a Christmas tree, my friends. Oh my God. And really with Chizuru, guys, all you need to do is drop her in there, hit her first and second skill, and you're good to go. Switch to Iori afterwards and plow. And another thing that's nice is in the past, whenever we use buffing characters, say for example like Cronin, he only has like a 6-second window to get the maximum buffs. Chizuru doesn't. 15-second long buffs, 20-second long buff from her core. You don't feel like, oh, I gotta hurry up and do this. I gotta hurry up and do this. It's easier to time things. So like when I bring in Pai, I'll use the first skill. I mean, I only need to hit it twice in all honesty to get the buffs, but I hit it a bunch of times so that way I can break that meter, drop in Chizuru, hit her first and second skill, and then boom, go straight and use Iori, right? And I'm doing it that way because if I use Chizuru's third skill, it takes a little bit of time. And you really only need the first and second for the buffs, for the strike skill buff, for the blast skill increased buffs, and of course from the increased target and from the increased attack by 100% from her core. It's really easy to get confused with the way all of her buffs works because she has so many of them damn things. It's really ridiculous. But look at, we're gonna hit 5 trillion, my friends. We're gonna hit, look, 5 trillion. I did 1 trillion 3 months ago with the same build on Iori. 1 trillion 3 months ago, the same character, now doing over 5 trillion. Now, I can't remember if I had my Iori at A5 or A6 or A7 whenever I did that run 3 months ago, but still, even if I had them at A7, maybe I would have hit 1.2, 1.3 trillion, right? Like my man is blasting away, guys. He is absolutely destroying this. Look at the damage. Holy crap. Like almost 6 trillion from this guy. His first skill does blast skill damage, my friends. And I'm definitely going to be testing some things on other characters as well in the future. But my God, guys, like this is absolutely bonko. This is bonko. I mean, Pi added a tremendous amount of damage, guys. But with Chizuru, like, it's just compiling on top of all the buffs that Pi is giving Iori. I mean, it's just ridiculous how much stronger Iori is now compared to what he was before. I mean, he's got the same amount of power. It's just with all these buffs, it's skyrocketed, right? And, you know, I'm using Kusanagi, guys, obviously, for the decreased defenses. Chizuru, I showed you that I'm using this, right? And by the way, guys, if Chizuru was leveled up and she had certain stones on her, like decreased defenses by 50%, increased target damage received, the damage would be even more so, right? Pi here, I got this set on here, this increased target damage received by 10%, so it definitely helps in the damage department. And Iori here, guys, this is what I use. This is what I've always used on this guy, Transited Athena set for this guy, right? As far as his imprint stones, we got 5 stones on the guy. He does have a max build. He is leveled up quite a bit. But seriously, those buffs have over like the amount of damage increase that I'm getting is, words can't describe it, guys. It really is ridiculous how much damage she's adding. And the fact that, you know, she's buffing up that Sacred Treasure character like that is awesome, from her leadership, from all the buffs built into her skills, her core. It's just bonko. And I do believe that's what most people are going to use it for, is the support buffs. Even if she doesn't buff up Sacred Treasure characters, you can still use a different leadership and use her to buff up other characters, my friends. So I'm blown away by Chizuru, not only as a strong damage dealer, but also as a ridiculous support character. So guys, let me know what you think about this lovely thing. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. TD+7 time. Link in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody. Take care.